to welcome Dr. Maxine who will share with us the art of physical humor in public speaking. Let's give her a round of applause as she takes the stage.
No problem.
It's all right, I got this.
Okay, let me hold.
Good evening, everyone. Hello. It's my honor to be here. I was approached by Sabinder and he shared with me about this topic that I recently delivered at our Asia Professional Speakers Singapore. I modified it for all of us this evening. And the topic, as you see here, is the art of physical humor. What is physical humor? Thank you for the sound effects. Like a drum roll. Anyone has been to Hong Kong before? Please nod your head. Hong Kong, yes. Have you all heard of the famous place called Lang Kwai Fong? Lang Kwai Fong? Yes. 15 years ago, when I was there after a training program, 15 years ago, that's when I was younger. Yes, I remember I was standing along the slope there after my training program in my business suit, wearing my glasses, and waiting. After a few moments, I saw a taxi, like a cab, driving up the slope, and it stopped. After a while, a man walked out, a Caucasian man with stunning blue eyes. He looked at me, and I looked at him, and I went like, is he checking me out? And he came forward. As he got out of his taxi, he leaned forward, and he asked me with two words. Can you all guess what were the two words? He looked at me, and he went, how much? I was like, how much? What? And I looked to my left. I saw there were many sexy women dressed in sexy dresses. And I looked to my right. I saw sexier women in hot dresses, short skirts. And I looked at myself in my business outfit. I was like, seriously? Suddenly it hit me what he thought I was. He thought I was in costume. And I looked at him. I said, not for sale, not for sale, and I ran for my life. I remember at that time I was so shocked, and I asked myself, oh my gosh, what happened? I called my friend in Hong Kong. She said, do not stand there along the slopes of Lang Kwai Fong at night, because those are working women. Until today, I do not know if I should be offended that he thought I was one of them, or be flattered that he chose me over them. How much? Especially as we talk about how much, have you thought about how much are you worth? How much are you worth in your company? How much are you worth in your family? How much do you worth to your friends? Can you turn to your left and your right and ask the person next to you, hey, how much are you worth? How much are you worth? Have you thought about that? That was a simple opening story that I've used for different situations. Either a recruitment drive, where I want to remind people, are you in the right market? I could have just started off with something inspirational, something serious, but injecting humor. Nowhere was I acting like a clown. I was sharing a story. I did little actions with my expressions, like, little things that I did, and I heard y'all giggle, but generally I can already feel you're a very polite audience. Yes. But most of the time, you do not need to be jumping around, doing crazy things to get your audience to laugh. So in the short time that we have this evening, that's my timer by the way, otherwise I could go on forever. Oh, you may have to look at the three colors. Back to the days.
Green color means almost reaching 30
Thank
minutes.
you. I was expecting a time. It's alright, I'll manage my own time. So, altogether there are 5 simple learning outcomes. The first one, I finish flashing that, I say photo moment. Then you take picture again. Rest your arms first. First one, discover how body language triggers laughter and conversation without you even saying anything. Second thing here, use facial expressions like or like ooh. Little actions using your faces that can actually break any tension. I walked in this morning and some of them will talk, you all didn't know me of course. I made little actions like, ooh, you need a bigger bell, or just little expressions. And you all look at me like, okay, she looks friendly. rather than walking like, hey, so full of myself. No, little smiles can make people feel that you're a fun person. And of course, apply movement timing. Timing is so crucial. You do it at the wrong time, it doesn't have the effect. So I'm going to show you, and you're going to practice. I know many of you are still eating. I hope you'll finish soon because you're going to have lots of exercises. This is not a keynote, okay? This is a workshop. So I want y'all to have the opportunity to practice rather than just watch me passively. Otherwise you can pre-record me, right? Just play it. So we're going to have some hands-on. Next, we're going to have how do you learn how to keep your audiences engaged through visual storytelling, and finally, how do you weave humor seamlessly? Photo moment. I can pose with it too. Oh, thank you for the cheer. Alright, so by the way, just to get all of you at ease, I have already prepared my entire slide deck in the QR code that I will share with all of you at the close of this. So those of you who prefer eye power and be present, you will get a copy of my entire slide deck. Sounds good? Yes, huh? Alright, thank you. So let's dive into the why. Why do we use humor? Especially as a Toastmaster myself, I've joined the English club, the Mandarin club, the Cantonese club as well. I've competed, although I never went all the way to US like Manoj. I did pretty well in the Asia scene. And I always found the body language part very exciting, but the humor part, when I went the humorous pathway, it was hard. And then I realized that it was because I tried too hard. Generally, as a speaker, people always tell me, oh, Maxine, you're so funny. I was like, really? I wasn't even trying to be funny. And that's where I deconstruct what I did, and I realized what I did wasn't conscious, but if I knew exactly what I did and what worked, I can repeat success. Would you like to know what works? Yes. We're going to share tonight. Thank you, Susie. It's the most enthused one so far. Thank you, everyone, for saying yes as well. Let's take a quick look here. Oh, this screen is really high. Look like that. Very awkward angle. And no keynote speakers usually can look back. So if I go like, woo, like that. First one, the signs. What is the signs of physical humor? First of all, it has to be incongruent. So from the word incongruence, what it means is when your body and your tone mismatch. Laughter is triggered naturally. For example, my boss asked me, is everything okay? I said, yes, boss. But actually in my heart, it's like, yes, boss. I have a light comes up, but this is how I feel. It's like, so when it is opposite, people go, oh my gosh, it's quite funny, eh? Okay, second one, tension build. When we talk about tension build is, it will be explosive when you wait for it, and then there's a punchline. That's where it's funny. We all have friends who will make jokes, one joke after the other. After a while, it's not funny anymore, right? It's like those of us studying during exam times, we want to highlight. In the end, we highlighted the whole page. Nothing is important, nothing is punchy. So you need to know when to pause and then release. That takes practice. And of course, recognition. Recognition, the brain, our brain is so amazing. For a moment. The brain recognizes exaggerated emotions as authentic experiences. For example, when my son tells me, hey, Mom,
Tension.
He always tells me, Mom, don't call me baby in front of my friends, it's not cool. I was like, okay, baby. He's like, okay, fine, cool. And one day when he asked me for some expensive outfit, I said, baby, give me one good reason that I should buy this expensive outfit. And he looked at me and he went, because Mom, I'm your baby. So it's like, she knows how to use it against me. So that's when the brain knows when I enter and like, my son goes, I can go. So I'm very exaggerated in my face, right? But those of us who are parents, we like, just a little bit of twisting of your faces. It just evokes emotions because people can see it as exaggerated, but you're not so conscious and worried about how you look. Many of us ladies, we say we don't want to stretch our face too much in case of wrinkles, right? So that's why many of us are worried about wrinkles. But I've been doing a lot of funny faces for like the longest time. And I'm 50 years old. Can you see any wrinkles, young man? No, thank you. Correct answer. Yeah. So, hopefully apart from me, that whom you think is funny so far, can you recall a speaker whose body movement made you laugh? What did they do? Just a quick 30 seconds. Can you talk to the person to your left and right? What action did they make? They make you instantly laugh. Oh my god, that was funny. Let's go. Come around. Yes, you have any funny friends? Funny actions?
Mr. Beans, Charlie Chaplin's.
Charlie Chaplin, yes, those who are mimes, Mr. Bean, the Rowan Atkinson, they have all this funny right? This little action. Those of us who have funny actions may not always be funny, eh? It has to be purposeful as well. Alright? Let's pause. I wish we had more time, because it's only 30 minutes. I do have quite a number of tips to share with you. Now, are we all familiar with G.E.M.S? No? Are you from Toastmasters? Yes. Oh, you mean it's no longer in our pathway? Dun dun dun! Okay, during my time in early 2000, in the body language pathway, as you call it, we had the G.E.M.S. One of you would know G.E.M.S, right? Yeah, we are like the old.
I don't know.
No.
I can guess.
Okay. Okay, fine. I'm from the older generation. Oh yeah, you're much younger than I am. Great, in a way, we don't, because if you do, I'm just adding the humorous twist to what Toastmasters offer. Because Toastmasters just offer and taught them in a very formal, generic way, but I injected humor. Okay? So let's start with the explanation. What is G.E.M.S? I finished flashing first, huh? G here is gestures, your hand, your gestures. E, make a smart guess. What is E? Expressions, thank you. Ding, ding. And, oh, yep. And the third one, the M is movements, that's correct. And the S here, S is stance. So G.E.M.S, stance. And the S for stance. So generically, what Toastmasters have been sharing for decades, maybe almost a century, gestures is gestures, how to use purposeful gestures, how do you use expressions like, all very formal, not funny, I'm going to show you something funny, okay? So, let's deep dive. For gestures itself, I have 5 types of gestures to share with you that can inject humor. Let me finish brushing first, huh? We have descriptive, emotive, symbolic, interactive, and pantomimic. For the moment. And then I will give examples of each type of gestures. As I share them, I'd like you to practice them, okay? So that you can internalize it. Right? Scientists have proven that if you practice it, there's 70% chance you will retain it. If you're just watching, probably just 10% or less. Okay, ready? Let's go to the first one. Gestures. So gestures here, descriptive gestures, is using your hands to describe size or shape, and then you suddenly change. For example, you say, I thought his size was this. Okay, no, I shan't go there. Okay. Thank you. See what I did there? Just a quick explainer. I thought he was this tall, but in the end, when I saw him, he was at my chest level. So that's where people thought it was very big, and then it's actually very small. Come have a quick practice with your friend beside you. What is it that you can say? It was like this, but it was the other side. I thought I was confident, but I was actually over inside. So gestures that are very contrasting. What could that be? Come, 30 seconds. Talk to the buddy next to you. What kind of descriptive gestures that can be contrasting and funny?
Okay.
Yeah, this is interactive.
When you see him, he's not handsome. Or like this.
Oh. All right.
But when you see him, he's no muscle. He has no muscle.
Follow Shama. Okay. Would you be comfortable to demonstrate? I just saw you do something quite cool.
He's very
Yeah, let's see
a lot of white hair.
Let's give a big round of applause, shall we? Yeah. Right in the time, everyone can just look.
What I did just now is like this, tall, up to 7 feet, and then I did this, like small, like a fly that keeps on disturbing you in the work office.
Cool, so it's just with the finger.
Yeah, and then like this, and then like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
my small movement.
Lovely, thank you. Round of applause there. I had one of my ex-boyfriend who's tall like you. You know when we go for programs, they'll ask you to use an adjective that describes you, right? So everyone was like, gorgeous Geraldine, vivacious Vivian. And it came to him, he's like 6'2". He went, tiny Tim. Everyone was like, you're tiny, you're so tall. They didn't expect it, you see. He was a humorous guy, which is why I liked him in the first place. But you know, it can be funny without being like a clown. Eh? Some examples here, that's what I just shared, they're small. Now let's move on to the next one. Emotive. Emotive here, it shows feelings that are bigger than life. So, example, overly dramatic expressions and so on. Remember just now when I said the man leaned over and he asked, how much? I was like, right? So it's like drama, it's like, I could be even crazier, right? Like, right? You can have any different kind of expressions, but it's dramatic. Okay, so let's have a quick practice with your buddy next to you. What kind of dramatic expressions is funny? It has to be funny, okay? Not like, oh, no, I was like, something like that. Thank you. Come on, let's make each other laugh with the expressions. That's too sweet. Aww. Yeah, I bring up funny expressions.
My eyes are quite small, so I don't think it's
I'm panting. I'm very tired. You are not tired? Or maybe something like...
Alright, dramatic. These are gestures, right? Gestures. And the next one, symbolic.
I thought you'd never come.
Symbolic is something that I demonstrated just now. This one, I could be like, I'm not sure if you are feeling this. So when you are using like symbolic gestures, right? Or it's like, I'm feeling great, much alright, so you can have very contrasting ones, just using symbols with your hands, people that they know, like thumbs up is typically for a good job, but you can like, no, I actually felt like that. So you can do a certain twist that people didn't see it coming. And that's where we talked about this. When you have a thumbs up, but your face screams like you are scared or you are panicking. Okay, so we'll move on very quickly because we have only about like 15 more minutes. Interactive gestures. Interactive here is, for example, you know, we always say that the right thing to do is never to pee in the swimming pool, but you all have done this too, right? Yeah. Right? So this is not mocking the audience, it's about laughing with your audience. Number one rule is never make fun of your audience, unless you're part of it. So if you are like doing this, like, come on, we all do this, we have done this, right? Yeah, probably I did it. So you need to let them know that you are also like having, we call it a what's the word there? Deprecating, right? Yeah, so you're making fun of yourself, you are laughing with the audience. And finally here, the fifth one. By the way, I'm from a drama club from like 5 years old, so I joined even now, I'm at the National University of Singapore Drama Works. And I do a lot of crazy drama stuff. So pantomimic is a very drama thing. It's like Charlie Chaplin, it's like Mr. Bean. You make actions, gestures, without saying a word. So for example, you mimic exaggerated actions like juggling or tiptoeing, like, oh, when I saw my boss coming in, I was trying to make my way there. So when you're a very drama, right, then people will find that, oh, that's quite funny, especially if you're speaking properly and you suddenly went like, ooh, little gestures. So another one could be, oh, I was typically like juggling so many things, like, whoa, or I'm carrying this very heavy thing, all my life is full of responsibilities. So when you're very exaggerated, people find that this speaker is very relaxed. It can have fun. At the same time, you're not making a fool of yourself, right? So there you go. These are the 5 gestures that you can consider injecting in your next presentation. By the way, there will be a little segment where I will be observing our speakers today. So the speaker who will have injected most of the actions, you will win prizes. Tell you more later on. So a quick 20 seconds. Please turn to your buddy and say, yeah, Maxine has just shared with us descriptive, emotive, symbolic, interactive, pantomimic. Which one am I going to start applying in my next presentation or speech? Let's go. Make a personal note, like, oh, I can try the, we talk about interactive gestures, like, stuff like that. Okay. All right, let's move on. I hope you have finished eating, because this will require you to open your mouth. I know you just came in, please go ahead and just watch others. Many people have, some of us are very expressive, some of us happy also like that. Not happy also like that, we call that poker face. So poker face very good for playing cards, right? If you're an expressive person, like, no, it's okay, you go first. I didn't get wrong flush, no. I can't hold it. But the poker face would be like, are you all in? You can't tell. So we need to help you all to relax your expressions right now. I've got 2 simple tips for you. This one is like a lion. And this one is like you bit the leather. So we're gonna do this 5 times with the body. Let's go. Yeah. I think we'll loosen out your face before we do the next exercise. Photo moment, like those who are taking photos, use this ring. No, Susie, you have to laugh.
No,
That helps you. Okay, now you are also somewhat relaxed. We can do some exercises together. Some of you might say, some of you might say that, but that may be very hard. I'm a person of position. I cannot look like I'm too expressive. Some of us have an image to maintain. I get it. So subtlety can be funny too. So what I mean by subtlety will be very tiny gestures, small gestures, just like when my staff told me that she has completed her work, I was like, right? Just a little tilt, right? You don't have to like, you don't have to do crazy stuff, but just a little tilt or like, at the same time, these are micro pauses, the tension, the laughter builds up. Secondly, we talk about over-exaggeration, just like, which we mentioned just now, and of course, contrast. You know, this is where, just now I demonstrated without specifying yet, now I'm revisiting it. For example, when my boss asked me, is everything all right? I said, yes, yes. You notice I did the exaggeration, I did the smile, exaggeration, and you have to come back to it. Then it's funny. If you go like, yes, then it's just like the plot just developed. But you have to show the contrast. This is how I'm looking outside of your soul, like, yes. So it's like a loop. Okay, this one takes practice. I have many friends who are stand-up comedians. They share with me this is actually a technique that they do. I've been doing it subconsciously, and I deconstructed it. I was like, oh, that is a technique. You have to do something, and then crazy, and then come back to that something. So we're going to practice. I have picked up 4 facial expressions that we can use in our presentations, not just for Toastmasters, but at work as well. First one, audience will read your face before they listen to what you have to say. It's not what you say, but how you look when you say it. The first one, curiosity. When we say curiosity is, most of the time you'll be like, but that is not dramatic. A curious will be like, right? It can be funny as like I'm not sure about this. Right? I didn't even say anything, but so when you go like curious, can you do a curious face to each other? Just like in a funny way, like word. It could be like, it could be an eyebrow raise. It could be a, okay, so that's one. Second one is disbelief. Disbelief raise eyebrows and open mouth to create comic shock. Just like when the man asked me how much, I was like, that face is like, oh, thank you for laughing. We have a very quiet audience, right? I'm working really hard today. Now I've spoken to millions of people and you're one of the most quiet audience. Thank you for putting me to the test here. I'm really testing out my humor actions today. So it's like, when you say disbelief, it's like, your eyes are really big. Right? And the person next to you, disbelief in a funny way. Disbelief. Some of you just watching me, right? I think I'm here to entertain you. We're here to practice, everybody. Third one, mock pride. Chin up and slight smoke and your playful arrogance. I remember there was a speaker who says that, I never feel nervous, and he walked out on stage like, with his face like that. And after he stood there, he forgot his lines. Then we were all like, right? So because sometimes people are arrogant, right? So you can imitate people with that smoke look. Come here, try the smoke look. Don't be shy. I'm like shamelessly doing this in front of all of you. Can you practice amongst yourself? Finally, fake fear. Because if you're really frightened, the audience will be worried for you. If you want a comic effect, your fear has to look fake, right? Exaggerated worry amplifies the humorous moment. For example, when my son said, "Mom, can I set the building on fire?" I was like, right? I'm just like my mouth is just jerking, like, can you have my expression? I'm not exaggerated, I'm so frightened, right? Yeah, very good. Can I take it, do it from you? No, you look like poor boy. Then the mouth has to go like that, and then go, You said you can do it very quickly and come back. That is funny. Okay, you don't just keep doing this, just a sad face, right? You're like, and then I came and said, oh my god, you did that so quickly. It's funny. Yeah? Alright, you have all four. They are on the slides. You can practice on your own. And of course, now we are at the end. Okay, we have cleared the G, we have cleared the E. A movement. What can be funny? So I have a simple formula up there, right? So you step, you pause, you look, and you react. So you do certain things. What do you have to do? Firstly, when we say step, means you move deliberately to establish the position. I finish sharing that and demonstrate. Yeah? And then you pause. You create that anticipation when you don't move. And then thirdly, you look. You make the eye contact. And finally, you react. Release the tension. For example, I was always curious. What was my boss keeping in his office? And one time, I was walking and someone called me. And I'll be like, oh. And I went on. And as I move on, right, as I look at the audience, then I go like, right? So when the audience is watching you, you don't like, oh, I went to my boss's office. It's not funny, right? I went to my boss's office. You can be as exaggerated as you feel comfortable. Okay, if you're not too expressive, you can go like, can be very subtle actions, right? So you don't have to like turn your face into like Jim Carrey style. There's a lot of practice for that. So for this one, and the two other segments here, using levels. Levels is bend over for vulnerability. For example, in my story, when the man, he came over and he looked at me, and he asked, how much, right? So, and when I bent over, you're like, what did he say there? And I told you 2 words. And all of you like, 2 words? How do you even form a question with 2 words, right? You never expected how much, right? By the way, I shared that story a million times. Every time they laughed and they cried. Today it was so quiet. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to keep going, right? I cannot like, oh my god, why you're not laughing? You all should laugh. You know? No, if a joke doesn't land, just move on. And of course, step back for surprise. When I saw something just now, rather than, oh, no effect, right? Surprise. Just like I said, I've been training in different countries, especially when I was in Hong Kong. I waited till like 8:30, 8:45, 8:59, they were all, they will turn up. And they said, oh, say, funny gong, means teachers start right away. What they all see, they are in a hurry. When I was in India, they walked in, I was in Mumbai, 9 o'clock workshop, they walked in at 11:30 a.m. And I said, I thought it was 9 o'clock. They said, this is India. It is very common, it is the traffic. I was like, okay. And then when I went to China, the class starts at 9, they come out at 7:30. 老师，我们来学习。I'm here to learn. See, my surprise is like, oh my god. So I exaggerated a little bit, I threw myself back, right? Because I've experienced different levels of engagement, and in China, they are hungry for learning, that it blew me away. So if you're comfortable, use your body a lot, fling your hands back, it's very dramatic, and from far, it looks impactful. And leaning for intimacy, freeze moments is like what we say. This is something that I've been doing for many years. I didn't realize it was funny until every time I do that, people will laugh. For example, I can be walking and someone goes, Maxine! I will actually stop like that, you know. Then they start laughing. Because most people are like, Maxine, yes, who called me? We will just turn around, right? But I will just stop track. Just now I think Mei-Ling called me, right? You know, Maxine, I was like, I froze. So that freeze moment is funny. Because it looks like in a cartoon, right? In reality, who does that? So that's not so hard for us to do, right? You can just practice freezing. Like sometimes you are eating, and you say, let's say suddenly you ask me a question, I go, then you're like, what? Keep eating, but I just stare at you, and you go like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so that's for M. And now we finish off with the final part, the stance. As we talk about stance here, I just share 3 types. Okay? The power stance, the confident beginning, the relaxed one, the calm before the storm, and finally, the unbalanced one. So a combination of different techniques. Huh? So for example, I saw this full of himself colleague of mine walking to the podium with the smoke look, pumping his chest like he's 1,000. And he was standing there. As he leaned forward, he looked at everyone, and he realized he forgot all his lines. So I actually did a body action here. I walked confident, lean over, relax, and then, oh my god, I forgot everything. So it's like when you have contrasting actions, it's all from your stance, how you stand. We all have confident stance, right? Like that. We have the nervous stance, like ladies with very muscular calves, so I can't do that. Those very lean legs, they can twirl, right? I don't know how you twirl legs. Right? And I was like, whoa! And some of us like, oh, unbalanced. So play with stance as well. All this do not require words. Now, just to sum up the G.E.M.S, how am I doing for time, Jacob? Okay, sorry, Ross, you forgot to check the time.
Couple of minutes.
Couple, okay, I should be done in a couple minutes. So, something for you all to think about. Once again, we'd like to encourage you to apply them for our prepared speeches, our impromptu speeches today. Firstly, gestures, right? Exaggerated or delay the hand movements, like, for example, I said, oh, I thought he was this big. No, I shan't go there, right? I delay and I stop, and then y'all finally giggle. So that's where I think Billy will know you were at the Speakers Academy. They laugh for 1-2 hours to tears. So you will have your fair share of audiences that are not so responsive, but you have to be self-high. That's why I didn't just survive the COVID period, I thrived, because most speakers just couldn't take it when they were talking to the computer, but I was like, yay! And I have the participants who say, thank you for your self-highness. At first I didn't get it. I said, oh, in Chinese it's 自嗨. I mean self-high, self-motivate. Expressions, use the expressions, movement as well. That's your one step, like, oh, right, little movements. Or your stance, when you're standing confident and then you, and you can go off balance. So, apply our G.E.M.S in in a humorous way in your next speech. So now, as we close up, I have 3 key messages for all of you. First one, you don't need a lot of props. I think many of us feel pressured that, wow, the speaker brought this, brought that, brought everything. Your body is your prop, right? It's the source of laughter and connection. Movement and timing can turn the most boring, ordinary moments into comedy. And finally, express authentically. Let the audience see you feel. Every time when I finish sharing a session like that, I have so many people, including our lovely Wheeling, who is a member of yours, be connected with me and said, just seeing how I'm so comfortable in letting myself loose makes you all feel that it's comfortable and safe to laugh as well. Okay, so as promised, if you like what you saw, all the tips, you can scan to download as well as connect with me on LinkedIn. I have just a final note before I hand it over to our Toastmasters of the evening, Susie, is I have authored and written 3 books. I know some of you have authored and published 3 books. And I brought them as prizes for y'all today. Thank you. I'm contributing my bestseller. It's a 4th print. This will be the prize for the impromptu speech. The Secret Manual of the Sales Warrior. 12 chapters of how to turn skeptics into advocates. And for the prepared speech, this one has interviewed the professionals from East and West of the world of the 4 generations, from baby boomers all the way to Gen Z. How do you get into their psychology? How do you connect with them for the prepared speeches? And this one, I've been tasked by Sabinder. I thought I'd just come here and do my song and dance and go. He said, can you stay throughout and observe all my speakers? So the speaker who applies any of those techniques that I shared the most will get my latest book, which I have interviewed 10 medical specialists, from psychologists to psychiatrists, all the tips there, all for free, as well as working professionals, how they've been through up and downs in life. This is Secret Manual of the Intuitive Warrior, winning strategies to decode your emotions and turbocharge your performance. So thank you very much to everyone for your lovely attention. And thank you. I'll leave it here first.
Do you enjoy Dr. Maxine's speech?
Yay! Thank you.